So, morning lovelies, have a little moment just to settle on your mat. On this lovely day, nice and sunny and warm out, how is your mood? How are you feeling? Just check in with yourself. Scan through the body as well, noticing how you're feeling. If there's anywhere that you need to be gentle, mindful today, observe your satya and ahimsa. And so we'll go through our chakras as we always do. I don't know whether you look through your chakras other times in the day or parts of your week, or whether it is just on your mat that you kind of draw that awareness to these energy centres. Let's start at the crown, top of the head. About an inch above the top of the head is the crown chakra, linked with our connection to source. And then just noticing how your third eye feels, your intuitive centre. Often if you have headaches or if you can't sleep, this can be signals that maybe it's slightly out of balance energetically. Throat, all connected with the neck and also the lower jaw, your ability to communicate to yourself and others. And then heart centre, Hatha. All linked with the arms down to the hands. How we show love, how we receive love with a hug. That's all connected. And then your solar plexus above your navel, this centre of self-worth and action. And then your sacral below the navel. How's your lower back feeling today? Any twinges? How's your digestive system as well? How do we digest life, assimilate life? And then root is our connection to earth, feeling solid, safe and secure. So it's always nice to just scan through, because sometimes you'll think, oh, actually, I felt a bit out of sorts, and maybe it is connected with that, and then maybe that reflects in my digestive or my sort of metabolism or all sorts of other things. So very subtly connected. So if you're seated, just join me lying down. We'll start stretches. So when you're ready, inhale, right arm over. We're so used to how this feels. Does it feel the same today as it normally does? And then lifting the toes and a nice flex in our foot. Does it feel good through your calf muscle? And then just start stretching. Stretch the fingers. And then point the toes so that we get a lovely stretch over the top of the leg, stomach channel. And then when you're ready, just exhale. Arm comes down, palms up. Have a breath or two. And then the left side, same again. Bringing the foot up into a flexed position and just gradually lengthening. And pointing toes. Which side feels more open today? Or are they pretty even? Exhale, arm down. Have a few moments. And then both arms over. As I do this, I often tend to tuck the chin in a little. Notice if that's something you naturally do, just to lengthen through the spine, and then just enjoy flexing and then pointing toes, flexing feet, pointing again. Really stretch up with the arms, feel the openness in the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, exhale, arms down. Have a few moments with the palms up in Shavasana, just tune in. How does that feel through your back? And then we'll draw the right knee in, hands round the shin. Just a nice deep breath here now. Exhaling up. And really enjoying following the movement of the breath in and out of your body. Inhale down. So from the moment after we bring the left knee in now, we take a lovely deep belly, chest, up to the head breath. And then exhale, coming up. squeeze all the air out, all the last little dribs and drabs. Pausing. And then inhale down. Both knees in. And same again, deep breath. And then exhale. Pausing for a moment. And then coming down. Have a nice gentle rock. Side to side. Roll in a few circles. What's going on? What can you feel in your body when you just do this? Okay. And let's take feet and hands into the air, and stretching fingers, stretching toes, and then opening and closing. Do your fingers feel stiff today, or are they pretty nimble? And then flexing backwards and forwards. Rotating. And the other way a few times. Releasing all those little clicky, the air in the joints. And then palms down, gently cycling, warming up knees. And the other way. And then just taking left foot down, right leg still raised, and big circles. Warming up your hip. How wide can you swing your leg? And notice when you do whether the left side of your body wants to start to lift off the mat. And then let's swap sides. Other side, left leg. Can you immediately notice any differences? I always find my left side a lot tighter. Okay. Bring the knees into chest. Bring your feet together so that they're touching, hands on knees, and we'll do some hip circles here. Just taking the knees away from you and round in little circles. This is nice because you get a little rock on your lower back too, and then the other way a few times. What do you notice? It's really strange because I've noticed in the past month or two, whenever I do this, I can feel a little bit of a sciatic sensation in the right side, and it's only this movement that I feel it. So just observe yourself if there's any strange sensations that you feel with just particular movements. So bring feet to the mat. We'll bring the right foot onto the left sort of knee, thigh area, and then come in to thread the needle. Nice glute stretch here. Hands around your left thigh. And then when you come into this gentle warm-up stretch, just notice how tight you might be through your right thigh muscles. Take a nice sigh, relax into this. And then we'll swap sides. So left foot onto the right side now, and then hugging around the right thigh. And again, with this pose, are there any real differences that you notice? Try to relax your tummy. Notice if your abdominal muscles are tight here. Okay, and release. So just roll up to seated. We'll do the head movements as well. I think it's so important, even though they're very basic movements, you know when you do have trouble with your neck or a stiff, or you wake up with a cricked neck, how we take for granted the movements that we do have. So just rest the hands to chin mudra. Close your eyes for a moment. Just re-ground down through your tailbone. Send your roots down. And we'll take the chin down to the chest. Just pausing, enjoying that stretch that you feel, relaxing shoulders. Taking the chin up to the ceiling. Pausing for a moment here, really opening through the throat. Just returning to centre now, and we'll tilt the head to the right. We're just once with each of these. And just pause, notice what you feel. And then slowly over to the left, and then just taking a moment here. Going back to centre, and then we're looking over the right shoulder, so a gentle twist of the head. And then left. Coming back to centre. And then do take the chin down for a full rotation in each direction. And coming back to centre. Just bring your feet into a butterfly. Take a few lovely deep breaths. Just let the legs gently rest to the side. Nothing forced here. Belly breathing. And then just releasing out. We'll just do one last thing, warming up. Take the hands onto the shoulders and give them a nice roll round. And then the other way a few times. How do you feel in your upper back when you do this? Okay, so those warm-up moves are very similar to Pawamuktasana 1, which is the anti-rheumatic series of movements. Pawamuktasana 3 is the energetic ones, which we do sometimes. So if you just sit with your legs out, as I am, and we'll do pulling the rope. As you sit down, just walk the pads of the buttocks out. Don't always do that to connect with your mat more, the sit bones connected to the mat. So with this one, we're doing this kind of movement, but really enjoy the breath. Every time we bring the arm down, we're exhaling. So it brings your right arm up. Take a deep breath in. Few more. And then just end with your left arm. Simple movement, but how energizing does that feel? It's really quite lovely. Come into a wide-legged position. And this is churning the mill, which is a nice one to warm up our spine as well. So just sort of clasp your hands and then moving from left over to the right. We'll do 5 each way. And if you've done your 5, just the other way. Exhale as you go forward, inhale as you come back. Lovely. Okay. Rowing the boat. So as if you have your oars in your hand. And we're going to do this kind of movement. Exhaling as we come forward and then inhale as we come back. Listen to your back. If you've got issues with your lower back, just be very gentle with this. So. One more. And then relax. You can lean your arms behind you. Okay. And there's another one that I quite like to do. Come to a standing position. They often do this in a squat, but I can't do that very well. So this is called chopping the wood. So again, maybe clasp your hands together, holding onto your axe, feet sort of fairly comfortably wide apart. And then we're going to come into sort of this action, like we're chopping wood. So inhale. One more. And then just come to a standing stillness. In Tadasana. Just have a few moments. So there was only probably 3 or 4 little different movements we did in that Pawamuktasana 3. Notice your heartbeat. Notice your breath. And notice if you're feeling a little bit fizzy and energized through your body, which is the whole idea. Okay, so we'll come into tree pose as just a means of settling and coming to a bit of stillness. So take the weight into the right leg and lift the arches if you need to, replant your toes down, and then just coming into this balance. Heel to ankle if that's comfortable, foot below or above the knee, and then hands to heart. Focusing on drishti. Notice your breath. Can we slow the breath? Can we deepen the breath? And relax, release. Other side. So planting those toes down again, lifting the arches if you need to, and then just finding where you're most comfortable for your tree this side. Left side. Lovely tall structure. So as if someone has a cord pulling you from the top of your head. Notice if your breath is tight or open. And then relaxing. Give your legs a little shake if you need to. Okay, sun's out. Let's do a sun salutation. Get our energy moving a little bit more. So working with solar plexus quite a bit today, especially with those energizing warm-up movements too. So joining me at the top of your mat, hands to your heart center. Nice deep breath in and open. Inhale, gentle back bend, and then folding forward. Take your time. This is the first bend of the day. So have a few moments here. Maybe just move a little, sway a little in ragdoll. Bend your knees if you need to. And then we can hands to shins, flatten the back, looking ahead of us. Hands to mat, right leg back. Gazing up. Take a moment here. Are you tense through your legs, or can you relax into this and really open through the hip flexors? And then back toes under, into down dog. Pawamuktasana, grounding the base of the fingers in the hands, really lifting the tailbone. Notice if your arms feel quite weak or whether you can bring some engagement in here. Deep breath in. And then exhale, coming down, flowing back. Inhale to Sphinx. We'll take a gentle Sphinx as our first back bend here. Okay, in this pose, just notice, are you all tight and can you soften? Relax the buttocks. And then hands under the shoulders, back up into down dog. Left foot forwards. Gazing up, feet together, and sweeping up. So hands to heart center, lovely deep breath in. Exhale, inhale, and forward fold. Looking ahead, hands down, left leg back. Take a pause here, just really even out that stretch this side. Down dog. Inhale. Exhale down and back. Flow into cobra if that suits you. And then back up to down dog. Right foot forwards. Gazing up to the sun, and then feet together coming up. Hands to heart. Lovely. How do you feel? Hopefully energized. We're going to do the other sun salutation, a different version. It's not two-sided, it's just the one round. So you can step back into these poses or you can jump back. We'll do it a couple of times, and perhaps the first time we'll step back and see how we feel. So hands to heart, deep breath in. Inhale up and open. Forward fold. Lift the back, looking ahead of you. And then hands come to the mat. And now we step back with both feet into down dog. No, sorry, plank. We lower down, come up into cobra, back up into down dog. And then we walk the feet between the hands, or we jump, just depending how you're feeling. And then we come up and salute the sun. Okay, so we'll do that one more time. And just notice if you want to take a little bit of a jump back or whether you step back. So hands to heart center, deep breath in. And then raising up the arms. Folding. Flattening the back, looking ahead. Hands down to the mat, and then a jump or a step back into plank. We lower down, come up into cobra, push back into down dog, and then a jump forwards, or a step or a walk forwards, and then we salute the sun. I prefer our normal version. I don't like that one as much. It's okay if you're doing the walking, but sometimes the jumping can be quite a bit much. Have a moment to lie down, my loves. Nice long sigh. Let your heart rate settle. Notice which version you prefer. It's a different, the sun salutation, that second one we did, it's a different style of yoga. There are so many little variations in all of these practices. So let everything settle. It's quite a nice sun salutation to do if you only ever just do the walking back or stepping back very gently. So draw the knees in, have a little hug, rock. Roll in some circles. And then we're going to come up and do some warriors. Sort of sticking with this solar plexus theme today. So in your own time, rolling up, joining me standing. So we'll start with our little sequence we often do. We'll come into Trikonasana, move through into some warriors, joining me with your feet about a leg length apart, as wide as you can get where it's comfortable. And just making sure that the outside edges of your toes are nice and parallel. Sometimes I see people with their feet pointing outwards like this. So just draw them so that they're forward facing. And then we'll just bring the energy through the body, raise the arms, activate the biceps, and then hands to our hips. And have that lovely sort of tall feeling of proud, being proud. Turning in the left toes, out the right toes. Bring your elbows back in line so the hips are in line. Extending right arm as we come into triangle pose this side. As you come down, notice if your body starts to collapse forward and just really try and keep that left shoulder open. And then once you're in this position, you can start to see if the body can come a little bit lower, but without collapsing into it. So I always come back to that feeling that you're being squeezed between two panes of glass. Okay, gently lifting up. Coming into Warrior Two, this same side. You might want to separate your feet a little. We bend into our front knee, that right knee, into Warrior Two. Just take a couple of breaths here. When you look down at your toes, you should be able to see your big toe, but not your 4 other toes. Your knee should be covering that often. Sometimes you'll find people with their knee collapsing into the midline of the body, so keeping all of that in alignment over the ankle. Okay. Sun Warrior. Take your left hand back and your right arm raised up. Back to Warrior Two. And then bringing the left hip and left arm forward into Warrior One. You might need to adjust your back foot gently. And then taking your arms behind you and clasp your hands as we extend the arms and lower down into Humble Warrior, into this nice forward bend over that front leg. And then lifting up, come back up into Warrior One, open into Warrior Two. We'll come into Pawamuktasana, the side lunge. And then coming back to Two. Forward facing feet. And we'll just have a little moment to clasp our elbows, rest forwards. Inhale, exhale down. And just let yourself dangle here for a few moments. Let the spine stretch out. Relax the hands to mat. Let's walk the hands forward until the heels want to lift. Really enjoy a lovely stretch through the backs of our legs, calf muscles, hamstrings. Coming back. Walking feet together. We'll roll up. Okay, other side. How does this feel when you come into your warriors? Because we're working with this center, Manipura chakra. So, starting again, we'll come into Trikonasana. So activate your body, lift biceps, hands to hips. Turn in your right toes and out the toes of your left foot. And you're just noticing where your body is, whether you do have to swing it around in alignment quite a lot. Left arm and then coming down. Take this slowly. Notice as you come down if you start to collapse. And then you can adjust and really open up. Take a few breaths here, and as you do, think about charging up that lovely little sun center in the middle of your body, like an internal battery. You're all going to be fully charged today. Gently coming up. Come into Warrior Two. Maybe a slight separation with your feet, just so that you can bend into this lovely lunge. Notice where you feel the sensation in your body. The right hip flexor, feeling strong through your front leg. Taking the back hand to the back thigh, raise the left arm, palm faces you as you gaze up into Sun Warrior, or Reverse Warrior, this is also known. Coming back into Two. Drawing your right arm, right hip forward, adjusting the position of your back foot into Warrior One. Take a few breaths. Engaging that back leg so it's not soft. Hands behind the back, clasp the hands, and then gently lean forward into Humble Warrior. Taking the arms behind you as much as you can. Lovely. Coming up, warrior 1, warrior 2, Pawamuktasana, side lunge, nice side angle, and we'll come up. Again, just clasp your elbows, deep breath in. Exhale. And enjoy just hanging here for a few moments. Notice your heartbeat. Really try and relax through the back. Nod your head. You can shake your head. And then hands down. We're going to walk the feet in. We're going to come up into chair pose just momentarily. I'm going to turn to the side. With chair pose, you really want to have a flat back. Push your bottom out. Arms come out level, parallel, as if you're sitting in a chair. And then we'll just lift up as we exhale and come out. Lovely. Okay. Have a moment lying down. Enjoy how your body's feeling. Where does it feel a bit more spacious, freed up, energized in your body? But let everything relax when you come to Shavasana. Let the feet fall to the side. Relax through the muscles in your back. And just letting the breath settle gently. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the knees into the chest. Have a gentle rock. We're going to come up and do some cobra and child's flow, and then we're going to come into some planks, some strong poses for the front of your body. So join me on your tummies. Let's come into crocodile first. And just feel into the lower back for a few moments. Here the elbows are in front of the shoulders, the base rib is still connected to the mat. And just take a few moments to breathe, soften the lower back, soften the buttocks. And then just lower down. Take some deep breaths into the belly. Nourish the back. And then bring your hands under the shoulders as if you're coming up into cobra. And then push up gently, pausing. Really drop the shoulders away from you. If your shoulders are hunched up to the ears, try and draw the shoulder blades down your back. Push yourself back gently into a child's pose. It might not fully come back, buttocks to heels, but just pull yourself back. Inhale, roll through your spine, almost coming into almost like a cat position, and then roll the belly down as you come into a gentle baby cobra. Push back up. So you get little push-ups in this movement. Come back to child's. Inhale, start to arch the spine like cat as you roll, and then the belly comes down into cobra. It's really quite nice for the spine, this. And then once more back to child's. And then just rest yourself in a version of child's pose that you like now, whether it's knees wide, bring the buttocks back to the heels, arms can be extended. Take some deep breaths. And then we'll lift the head slowly. Walk the hands back to your body, knees can come together. Okay, so we're going to come into some planks. They're very good for the whole front of your body and really creating some strength here. If you can't, I'm just going to show you a variation. If you can't come into a proper plank where you're like this, please have the knees on the mat. You're still gaining strength, but it's a little bit kinder to your back and the rest of your body, all right? So this is an option. So joining me, start in this half sort of plank pose for a moment. And then those of you that can come up, turn the toes under, coming up into plank. Now, it's really hard if you haven't got a mirror or something to look at. You might end up looking like this, which is sort of almost like a semi-down dog. But when you look down your body, if you can sort of see like you're in alignment, then you're coming into a nice plank. Okay, just gently lower down into a chaturanga and then come to the mat. Have a moment to rest. Just make a pillow with your hands. Take a nice sigh. And then we're going to come up again. So come onto knees, and if you need to, you can start in this easier version of plank. We're going to come into side planks. So those of you that can come onto the toes, find your plank pose first. Then I suggest just bringing the left hand into the centre as we turn to our right side and raise the right arm. Lower your knee if you need to. Come into that easier version. Okay, we're going to swap sides. So bring your right hand down to the middle and then raise the left arm. So a left side plank. Okay, bring hands back to that original position. And then if you can, lower down slowly, 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 slowly. Hover over the mat. And then release. Make a pillow. Rest your body. And maybe you can feel your heartbeat against the mat. Pumping away. So, let yourself come back in onto your back into Shavasana. If you need to just push yourself back into Child's for a moment, you can do. And then just rest on your back. Tune into what you're feeling. So we've had a lot of movement and flex through the back of the body. Let's come into banana so that we have a nice side stretch to the body as well. So feet over to the lower right corner, right foot over left. Shuffle your upper body to the top right corner. And then if you want to bring arms overhead, you can, or cactus arms. Or if you're happy with them down by your side, you can choose to leave them there. When you're in this pose, see if you can relax your buttocks. If they're really clenched and tight, you might notice the muscles in your lower back are a little tight to start with as well. Sides of the waist. Just letting go gently. It's often a gradual thing. Keep coming back to these areas and thinking, oh no, I'm still tense there. Gently let go. Noticing your breath. Can you relax the neck? Let the head be a little heavier. And then gently we'll come back to centre. Find your neutral spine. Just for a few breaths you might want to wag your tail. Get comfortable. Just noticing what you're feeling. And then the other side. So feet to the lower left corner. Left foot can come over the right ankle. Shifting your body to the top left corner. To whatever degree it feels right for you. Sometimes you can come into this in quite an extreme way, or other times a far more gentle bend to your body. Same with your arms, wherever you want to put your arms. And just deep breaths. Relax the left side of your waist if you feel like you're kind of hitching it up and it's tight. Relax the abdominal muscles as well if you notice. It's only when I mention these things you might come across them and think, oh yes, I was tight there. And just relaxing. Softening the muscles in the face, your head and neck. Just a few more breaths. Noticing where the breath moves. And then we'll gently come back to centre. Again, have a little wriggle through your body just to find a comfortable position and moment to relax. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? And then we'll draw the knees in. Roll up to seated, just for a seated spinal twist. Although we do rotate the body with, we get the side stretch with Trikonasana, there's a little bit of rotation through some of the other poses. This is quite nice to still do an actual seated twist. So again, just connect sit bones to the mat. Right foot over left knee. If you can flex your front foot, it's always good to engage here. And then left arm hugs around the front, lovely tall spine like a ruler's down the back, and then right arm comes behind. So when we move with this twist, we're sort of moving belly, chest, and then lastly the head looks over the shoulder. Feeling that spiral through the body, perhaps a lovely stretch in the buttock. Take some deep, conscious breaths. And then inhale as we come back round to the front. Just extend your legs, have a moment to lean back into the arms. I like to think when we have these moments in between that everything kind of just goes back into place a little with the spine. And then we'll come into the other side. So left foot over the right knee now. Tall back, lovely straight back. Right arm to the front, left arm behind. Tall back comes before we even move into this twist. Lovely deep breaths. And then gently coming back round to the front. Release your legs, just have a moment to lean back. Just a moment to feel. And then coming to a seated position. You can grab your cushions if you want to. Just like to do a little pranayama for a few moments. We'll start with triangle breath, but evolve into square breath. But if you feel you're more comfortable with the 3 parts of triangle breath, stick with that. Just choose what feels right for you today. Rest the hands to chin mudra. So triangle breath, we inhale, hold, exhale, and then breathe in again. So it's those 3 parts. Square breath is we inhale, we hold the in-breath, we exhale, and then we hold the exhale out for a little while as well. Perhaps choose the count of 4. It's a good place to start. So we'll start with triangle breath. So inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. And then inhale, hold, exhale. If the next time round you want to hold the exhale out, turn it into square breath, you can. And you might find the count is too short and it needs to be longer. Return to triangle breath if that feels more comfortable. So one more. And then just relaxing, noticing how you feel. So today, triangle breath felt far more comfortable for me. And then other days, square breath, it almost sort of evolves into that. And that external retention of breath feels good. So different days you'll feel differently. Time for relaxation now, lovelies. So either remaining seated, or if you prefer to lie down with cushions and blankets, then please get yourself comfortable. Allow yourself these 10-11 minutes out of your whole day just to rest back. So I have a little thing to read you. So relaxing from head to toe. You know how this feels, just to scan through the body, look for tightness, consciously let it go. Even soften your face and neck. This is a little piece by Deepak Chopra. We are travellers on a cosmic journey. We are travellers on a cosmic journey, stardust, swirling and dancing in the eads and whirlpools of infinity. Life is eternal, but the expressions of life are ephemeral, momentary, transient. Gautama Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, once said, "This existence of ours is as transient as autumn clouds. To watch the birth and death of beings is like looking at the movements of a dance. A lifetime is like a flash of lightning in the sky, rushing by like a torrent down a steep mountain. We have stopped for a moment to encounter each other, to meet, to love, to share. This is a precious moment, but it is transient. It is a little parenthesis in eternity. If we share with caring, like light-heartedness and love, we will create abundance and joy for all, for each other, and then this moment will have been worthwhile. Interesting way of describing our fleeting but important little life. And there's another quote here. This is by Crowfoot, a Native American. What is life? Is it the flash of a firefly at night? Is it the breath of a buffalo in the wintertime? Is it the little shadow which runs across the grass and loses itself in the sunset? By Crowfoot. How beautiful. Little observances of perhaps how he wonders what life is. So I'm going to leave you to think about, as you have a few moments here, how fleeting but how precious all life is. How we spend our life, who we share it with, who we care for, who we love. That's all that matters. So gently as you still remain still and rested. Notice what went through your mind. What came to my mind was, don't sweat the small stuff. Life's too short. Just enjoy what we've got. Just noticing as you rested the fluctuations of your mind. So we can gently just start to slowly move fingers and toes. As you do so, perhaps just take a deep breath and a long sigh. Check in with how your body feels. Perhaps now just tilt the head from side to side and begin to stretch. Drawing knees in when you're ready. Hugging knees in and rocking, and then when you're ready, you can roll up to seated. So rolling up to seated, just joining me, and we'll chant our 3 Oms together. So rest your hands to Chin Mudra. Take a lovely deep breath in. And then bringing hands together to rub the palms, feel the heat. Lovely warm palms over your eyes. Blinking gently as we draw the hands down to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.